This Audi, yeah, this one in front of you was labeled the fastest RS5 in Nitro Nation on a 1 mile yesterday. That's right, I pushed and I pushed and I pushed. Honestly, at first I didn't know a lot about the car. I got it because I'm a huge Audi RS fan. It turned out that I wanted to be the fastest South African player to have an RS5. So obviously after reaching that, I knew this car had so much more in it. So what did I do? Push for the top 100, top 10, and now we are finally at first. So on all the other distance, we are top 10 and top 5. So I'll be sharing with you guys. Oh, what is that? You guys see these vents over here? Sorry, I just went off topic. I know usually the one for the brakes is here in front, but that's definitely new. So I'll be sharing my tune with everyone today. Sadly but true, just make sure you don't win me, please. I'm gonna give you guys a small review about the car, if you should buy it or not. My personal opinions, because I've been spending over a year with this specific Audi RS5. And I will also be giving you guys a few tips and tricks regarding the RS5. Let's do a small review on the RS5 first. So this awesome car over here, I'm technically only laughing now because that's not true. This car is one of the biggest headaches ever. Literally, I'm not even kidding. I've been struggling so much with this Audi. I mean, I've been playing with it over a year now, and let me tell you one thing. For the price of $650,000, I should have rather bought myself something else. Looking at the Maserati, which is faster than the Audi in the half a mile and the 1 mile, is the same value, the same price. Looking at the Lotus, which is faster than the Audi in all 4 distance, is the same price. It's actually now a special, but we're not going to work on a special. We're working on a 650,000. Looking at the C63, at least the Audi is a little bit faster than the C63, but the S65, it beats the Audi in a half a mile and 1 mile. Looking at the M4, it beats the Audi in all the distance. I mean, my friend actually built this thing up to beat me, and he's killing me. He's killing me left and right. So this car is very difficult to drive. As you guys might have noticed, most of the cars does beat the Audi on a half a mile and 1 mile. This car's got a very good pull away, but let me tell you one thing why my experience with this car is so darn bad. When you do start building up an A-class car like this and you reach a certain point in the game, you are no longer gonna race against A-class or A1. Most of the time I am racing against S-class, so this car can unfortunately not put up a fight. I mean, maybe on the 8th I can do a good launch, but that doesn't help me because you don't always play this game at that specific time frame. So whenever I do play, it's always quarter mile, half a mile, 1 mile, and I am getting chowed left and right. I mean, at least if I had something like the Maserati or the S65, I can still do something against the S classes, but now I can't. I mean, I'm literally losing all my races left and right with this Audi, okay? Maybe I'm over exaggerating a little bit. I'm not losing all of them, but it's a very difficult car to drive. It wants that perfect launching RPMs. It wants a perfect shifting at a certain RPM. It is just such a difficult car. I mean, when I spend about 1 million on parts for this car, I don't even see an improvement really. Every time I gotta go back and do the tuning. But I even owe myself a Lotus. I got the Evora, and let me tell you one thing, I installed a part in this car for like 200k, and this thing is hitting new records for the next 3 races I do. Like, this car is actually worth buying compared to the RS5, and also the Lotus is faster than the RS5 in all the distances. So that is a small review. This car is not easy to have. I mean, I know for all the RS5 lovers out there, even myself, I'm still an RS5 lover, but for this specific game, this is not one of the best price to value kind of car. Let's go to the ranking. So we are currently filtered under current car, which is the Audi RS5. And as you guys can see straight away, Overclock, and that's me, I am in first place at 19.228. Just to clarify that if you do look over here, here is my name highlighted in first place again with my 19.228. So it took me such a long time to get to this position. I've given up already at when I was 100th, and I gave up when I was at 50 and 20, and I was even stuck at 3 for maybe 1 month, if it wasn't even more than that, where I just couldn't improve the car until I just went crazy and I got it to 19.228. And honestly, that was the only time I got it to 19.228. I've never even been close. I'm always getting 240s or 250s. I don't know how I got this. I do have got a small idea. I'll try to share with you guys as much info on the tuning as possible. Looking at a half a mile, I am sitting in second place. We are so close, but yet so far. 6:32, that is a really, honestly, if you guys get to this point, that is really far to beat. Looking at a quarter mile, I'm sitting in 7th place, and looking at an 8th, I am sitting in 6th place. So this car can almost be considered as a top 5 car. And one thing I'm really struggling with is improving my shorter distance. This car's got like a lot of science into it. My car currently has got this problem of spinning too much. How can I actually improve that? Is by going and removing some performance parts. So I'm just gonna back out. We're gonna go to the upgrade. So what I'm trying to say is that if I want to improve maybe on my shorter times, I can go to my intake and maybe remove one or two of these parts. I mean, look at them. They are platinum. They only give me 5 kilowatts. This is crazy. This car was so darn difficult to build up. So maybe I can remove like 2 or 3 of these parts. This is the only valuable thing at 15. Maybe like I can even remove 2 parts and then maybe get a better time because my car won't spin so much. Who knows? But let's talk a little bit about the tuning. This car currently has got 2 tunings. Well, 2 tunes, not tunings. We got the preset A and the preset A over here for the 8th and the 1 mile. Regarding my tuning, I must tell you guys one thing. The tune I have for my 1 mile is the exact same tune that worked best for me at a quarter mile. If you do look over here on this graph, you guys will see the 1 mile, half a mile, and quarter mile. Nothing changes. Only when I go to my 8th, my tune changes a little bit. Reason being is that mostly throughout all the certain distances, I was switching out my Nitro spec. And that is the goal, is having for example, the 1 mile, having the Nitro which sprays the longest. For the shorter distances, you want nitros that can pack more of a punch, having more torque rather than spraying forever. So that is technically the key aspect of this car. I figured it out very, very late. But once I caught that drift, this car was flying. We were doing great numbers. So yes, I think if I have to go sit and do a 1 mile tune, I can even improve the times that you guys have seen. But honestly, am I going to do that? Not yet, because I'm still in first place. So here we go. We're going to go move over to the dyno quickly, this side. And I want to show you guys that this car, when it comes to the dyno, it's got a very short span of max power. Like, its max power is at 6,000 RPM, so this car doesn't even rev that high. Looking at 6.5, which is in the middle, it has a magnificent drop. I mean, it's almost like at 800 to 700 in 500 RPMs. And if you want to shift, you don't want to like fall further back than 5,000 RPMs because you're going to keep it in the power band area. So meaning that if you're, let's say, in first gear, you go from 5,000 to 6,500 RPMs and you shift, you must go back to about 5,000 RPMs. You should not drop down to like 4,000 RPMs and you got to build up power again to be able to boost. So that is one tip I can give you guys. So let's go. Let's do this. We are currently on my 1 mile, half mile, and quarter mile tune. We're gonna look over here. My engine speed limiter is 7,500, which is actually wrong. The reason why I did that was when I was testing myself. Oh crap, I just went out. When I was testing myself, if I did a bad time, I just blowed my engine up to speed things up. Because doing the mile race over and over, it is not that easy. To sit there and seeing you're gonna lose is getting frustrating and all of those things. So for my final drive ratio, obviously you guys can just pause over here and have a look at everything. This is the tunes 3.760, 2450, 1570, 1130, 870, 700, 572, 500, and 500 again. So yes, I did take my 8th gear out. I did not see any reason to use my 5th gear. Maybe we can just do that, just make it look even more complex. But yeah, we can go and put it on 500. So when I do my 1 mile, I push through of my 7th gear. And yes, if we're gonna go quickly back, I want to just show you guys my nitros kit. So when I'm doing my 1 mile nitros, my 1 mile run, I use my strongest bottle. I'm sitting at 996 gogs when I'm over here. To give you guys an idea, let's just quickly go back. I think if we go in here, there we go, it's going to give us a better diagram. So we got 198 newton meters of torque and 550 milliseconds of nitros. I know it shows it in here as well. Well, actually, oh yeah, it just makes it much more difficult because you got to add and subtract and etc. But here you guys can have an idea. Well, this one is actually 2-1. Yeah, this is correct. This is correct. It is at 198. This is the nitros that I use for my 1 mile. So when obviously I'm doing my shorter distance, I go and install the packages that gives me more punch than time. So now I'm currently at 958 gogs, but I'm 200 and, well, is that 200 on the dot? Let's look quickly. Torque. 226 torque on the dot, 3.900 milliseconds. So if you can ever get yourself nitro packages that's actually better than this in any scenario that has more torque or more time, you might actually beat my score pretty easy. So you've got my half a mile, quarter mile, and 1 mile tune. Let me just show you guys quickly my eighth. So we're gonna go to load. Yes, we're gonna load right over here. This is once again for blowing my engine. This is supposed to be 7,200, and here we go, 3,760, 2,450. You guys can just go ahead, pause this, write it down, and I think with this distance I'm actually pushing through in my 4th gear. So also this one should be actually a little bit longer, so meaning we gotta go, let's make it 860. The reason being is when I do pass my 8th run, I'm almost like up until 7,000 RPM. So I'm losing just a little bit too much. So I'm just making it a little bit longer so I pass with my highest power through. But yeah, there we go. So this is everything I have. I've got everything obviously in platinum once I install these things. There we go. Looking at it, platinum all the way, platinum, 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 platinum. I'm only left with one over here, which is my, what is this? It's like the front lock thingy, whatever it is. So yeah, that doesn't matter too much for me. It technically helps with the camber. Oh yeah, just to show you guys, here is my suspension tuning as well. I nearly didn't show you guys. So I didn't work so much on my suspension. I just dragged it. Okay, now my car's doing better. Went over here, drag it this way. Now it's doing better, and I kept it like that. I know a lot of people, they play in these areas. I just went full, went big, or go home, I suppose. So there we go, everyone. There is the RS5 for you. I hope I covered everything for you guys. If you have any questions, do let me know in the comments below. Yeah, that is about it. If you would love to support the channel, hit the logo at the bottom right corner to subscribe. If you want to see a similar video, hit the icon on the left. If you want to see one of my most recent videos, hit the icon on the right. And I'll see all of you legends in my next video. But for now, peace out.